Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is said to have many emotional moments in this film by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one great thing about this film is that we do know that J.J. Abrams is doing a lot of special things for the characters of Kylo Ren and Luke Skywalker, as well as others in this movie, that's gonna really make us view The Last Jedi and The Force Awakens in a different way. And one great thing about JJ is that we also know that he will be bringing in a lot of older aspects of the Star Wars franchise into Episode 9. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions, this is where things begin to get very exciting for both Luke Skywalker and Kylo Ren in one of the opening sequences for Episode 9. Specifically, shot descriptions consisting of moments within the first act of the film, where it's described that Kylo is inside of his chambers holding Darth Vader's melted helmet, where it said that he begins to hear whispers of Luke Skywalker's Force Ghost voice. It's described that this causes Kylo to get frustrated as he puts the Vader helmet down and looking around in the room of where the voice is coming from. It said that Kylo begins to look outside of a window, where it said that a faint figure of Luke is seen over Kylo's shoulder, where he turns around only looking at nothing to be there. It's described that Luke reminds Kylo throughout the film of the many terrible things that he did in his life. Another sequence also based within the first act involves Kylo Ren on a large stage with his Knights of Ren, where it's described that he is shouting out the danger of Luke's legacy spreading throughout the galaxy. It said that a large hologram of Luke is presented on the stage to show his army that Luke, even after death, is still a threat. So I really want to go over a couple of parts about all of this. Now, we do know that this movie is really going to do a lot of crazy things for the character of Luke Skywalker. And a way to honor the Skywalker bloodline, J.J. Abrams is also going to be introducing a lot of different revelations attached to Luke Skywalker. So, this one whole entire sequence, the thing that really gets me is that this seems like, Luke Skywalker is really messing with Kylo Ren's mind. He's really trying to get to Kylo Ren. And we also know that within the first act of the film, this is when the Force Ghost voice of Luke Skywalker and little minor appearances of Luke will actually be in effect through Kylo Ren's mind. Now, we also know that Han Solo's vision, as we went over just a couple of days ago, the Han Solo vision is actually initiated by Luke Skywalker's Force Ghost into Kylo Ren's mind. So you can already see what they are trying to do with this movie, where they're trying to make Luke Skywalker, I guess you could say, more around the lines of a Force Ghost that is trying to get through Kylo Ren's head, and is really trying to make him turn from the dark to the light by really kind of just heightening the levels of remorse within Kylo Ren himself. So, the one sequence that really gets me, and the one sequence that really seems like a very interesting piece, is where Kylo Ren is looking outside of a window, where as he's looking out the window, behind Kylo Ren he sees a faint figure of Luke Skywalker, where Kylo Ren eventually turns around, only for Luke to not be there. So in that particular sequence, is that the Force Ghost of Luke, or is that just a vision of Luke Skywalker? That's unclear. Now, the other piece that I find very intriguing, we went over this a couple of times ago, a couple of weeks ago I believe that we went over this, where Kylo Ren is actually going to have his own new stormtroopers that are going to be called the Red Fury. And in this particular sequence, we got hundreds of red stormtroopers, pretty much, looking at Kylo Ren giving a speech, where Kylo's speech is actually said to consist of the danger of Luke's legacy spreading throughout the entire galaxy. So that's another aspect of Luke Skywalker that is going to be used on the other end here through the First Order, is that J.J. Abrams is creating this threat of Luke Skywalker, which is the legacy of Luke, spreading throughout the entire galaxy, which is really creating a lot of hope and a lot of courage to go up against the First Order and Supreme Leader Ren. Now, what I really like about all of this is that it really seems like that Luke is given a purpose in this movie to a certain extent. Not only will he be appearing in the form of flashbacks and in the form of a Force Ghost, but also Luke's legacy is going to play a significant role in Episode 9 in the formation of the galaxy going up against the First Order and, of course, Kylo Ren. So, like I say, guys, I think that what J.J. Abrams is really trying to do with this movie, he is really trying to introduce these new ideas, and especially these great new ideas that are going to honor the character of Luke Skywalker, and especially these sequences between both Kylo Ren and Luke, really does bring back the family element of Star Wars, right? We get that uncle and nephew aspect of Star Wars that we didn't get too much of in The Last Jedi. So with that being said, guys, like I say, we do know that Mark Hamill shot quite a number of scenes for this movie throughout the months of January and February, and even over in September of 2018 for many of the flashback sequences of Episode 9. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.